G'day there guys, it's your main man Markee, back at it again with another episode of r/am I the a-hole. Now I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the Barbie and the video and the like button, and I'll see you in the next episode. I'm just kidding, enjoy the episode. Posted by user Bade Gersifar, titled, Am I the a-hole for kicking my ex-girlfriend and her kids out without warning? My ex-girlfriend and I, both 27, broke up in January after a 3-year-long relationship. She had 3 kids from a previous relationship, but I never took a fatherly role over them as their dad is still really present in their lives. I didn't speak to them much, even though they all moved in with me about 6 months after my ex and I started dating. After we broke up, we decided that until my ex could find somewhere permanent to stay, she'd stay at the apartment, which is just as awkward as it is. I hardly like her kids as it is, and now I have no obligation to them. I don't like them living in my house. I tried to push them out, and then COVID hit and I couldn't. In April, I met a new girl and we started dating. I've been considering asking her to move in with me, but I obviously can't do that when I have my ex living in my home. I can't even bring her round because of the whole situation. I brought this up to my ex and she just laughed and said it was tough, which ticked me off. I told her and the kids to get out and packed their bags quickly for them. I know she's okay because her best friend took her in, so I don't think I'm in the wrong, but she's considering getting the police involved, which is insane to me. Am I the a-hole? Man, I feel like we're missing so many more details here. We're just getting a brief rundown of the situation. And I'm inclined to just say that this is terrible. Everyone sucks, but it's leaning more so on you sucking. But I can understand, OP. This is so messy. Oh my god, it's like watching a dumpster fire. I can't take my eyes away. I'm just gonna say everyone sucks and leave it at that. Everyone sucks here. Your ex had no intention of moving out by the sounds of it. 5 months and no talk of moving. You suck because kicking her out like that is almost definitely illegal. You should have looked into the laws in your area for eviction procedures. And don't get in a relationship with someone who has kids if you don't like kids. Also, why are you rushing these relationships? Your ex moved in after 6 months? You want to move this new girl in what, 2 months? I was going to say exactly this. She sucks for not actively trying to find other accommodations after the breakup. And in my opinion, she also sucks for uprooting her kids to live with some dude after a few months of dating. You suck for kicking them out in 1 day. After all, it was the middle of a pandemic, and it sounds like this was their home for 2.5 years. You don't just get to throw them all out of their own home in 1 day because you want to bring in a new woman. And what's going on with your relationships? A woman with 3 kids that you don't like moves in after only 6 months of dating, and now you're already in a new relationship wanting her to move in after what seems like less than 2 months, while woman number 1 hasn't even left yet. When you move that quickly, you end up in these types of situations right here. How do you even know that you really like this person enough to commit to living with them? Or are you just going to pack her bags up in a few weeks too, and then a few weeks after that, another one? That sounds unhealthy to me. You're the a-hole. She could pursue legal recourse because of the illegal eviction, but I see a bigger problem here, which is you seem to be inviting people you barely know and just started dating to move in with you. Don't assume it is an illegal eviction. There are often exemptions in state rules for people in romantic relationships as opposed to the standard landlord-tenant relationship. And when they decided to continue cohabitation after breaking up, OP said goodbye to those potential exceptions. From the sounds of it, he told them to move out 5 months ago, and was patient until she started being a duck about it. I'm not a lawyer or anything, so I don't know, but I think that someone saying, I need more time before I move, and you allowing that for a while until you finally say no, get out, isn't illegal. At least it shouldn't be. I mean, yeah, he's an a-hole for the way he treated the kids and moving in with people so fast in relationships, but on the part he asked about, telling them to move out, I'd say he's not. Just my opinion. I understand where other people are coming from on this one. Posted by user Slightly Silly, titled, Am I the a-hole for deliberately getting a nurse fired? I'm a nanny for 2 boys, aged 9 and 6. A week or 2 ago, they were cranky with each other all day, just arguing and screwing around constantly. This happens sometimes, no big deal. But the 9-year-old snapped at his brother. Yeah? Well, you ate your brother when you were in Mum's belly. It was such an incredibly dark and shocking thing for him to say. I immediately separated them, told the younger one his brother should not have said that, and it absolutely isn't true. I put the older brother in timeout, and then sat and asked him why he said that to his brother. It's true, Miss Dana told me. Dana is a neighbor, and also happened to be their mother's prenatal nurse. I asked exactly what Dana had said, and he replied, she said that's why brother is so slow, because he had a twin, but he ate him when they were in Mum's belly. That's why I don't have 2 brothers instead of 1. I immediately shut it down and told him that Miss Dana should not have said that to him, and he shouldn't tell his brother anything that she said. I explained that babies don't eat other babies in the womb, and it was a terrible thing for her to say. I spoke to their mother about it, and she was hurt, but honestly not surprised. She told me she knew Dana had a drinking problem, and probably just mentioned something while intoxicated. My eyes are getting wider by the minute reading this. She also said, however, that the information Dana spread was partially true. There was a twin, and the twin did die in utero. There is no way the 9-year-old could have known this without Dana saying something. His mother has never told either of the boys about it. She's my boss, and these are her kids, so I wanted her to decide how to proceed, but then she warned me to not report Dana to the hospital. She said it would cause problems for her socially in the neighborhood, and since Dana's husband works for their HOA, oh god, he could make their lives miserable with yard regulations and such if she found out who reported her. Dear Lord, it's a double whammy. What is he going to do next? Cut down the tree and we're going to get some tree law? I ended up calling and reporting Dana anyway. It's a huge violation of HIPAA, and who knows what other vulnerable women she's exposing. If she's willing to get drunk and tell a 9-year-old that his brother cannibalized his twin in the womb, what the hell isn't she willing to do? I'm sure Dana will be fired over this, and I do feel guilty for going against my boss's wishes, but I felt it way beyond just her. Am I the a-hole? Oh my god, this is so loaded. I'm going to say personally, this is my take on it. I think they're not the a-hole. I think that's really messed up to tell a kid. I think you should report someone for that. I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? No, you don't just get someone fired from their job. Bruh, you broke HIPAA. You can't break HIPAA. You know how much trouble you're going to get in for that? And you deserve it for breaking HIPAA to a kid. Get your drinking problem sorted out. I'm going to say not the a-hole. Edit. Thanks for all the replies. Unfortunately, they seem to be just as divided as I feel. I appreciate everyone's input. For the record, I expect repercussions at my job over this and expect to be terminated because of the report I made. I knew that going into it and am totally fine with that. I just wanted to do what seemed to be the morally correct thing, regardless. After much debate, I think I have to go everyone sucks here. Dana for possible HIPAA violations and for being intoxicated and alone with a child? What? Mum for not wanting to report for real but crappy reasons? You for going behind Mum's back on the word of a 9-year-old when I'm not even sure your complaint actually follows reporting guidelines, as you have no idea and no way to know when Dana may have actually talked to 9-year-old. Reports must occur within a 180-day period, and while it's likely a 9-year-old wouldn't hold on to that info for longer than that, this info is just weird enough that who knows. If you haven't already, I do think you need to fess up to Mum and give her a heads up. However, if you're correct that Dana is violating HIPAA, then you did overall do the right thing, and I think you can wear your a-hole badge with pride, even if it's with another employer. Little kids love ammunition and hate secrets. There is no way he would have held on to that for 5 months. My experience with my little brother says he probably heard it in the past few weeks. However, I super agree that everyone sucks here except the mum, kind of. Neighbors can be so petty, and it'll definitely come back to bite her if people find it out due to the HOA husband. OP's boss probably doesn't want the trouble, but if Dana is violating HIPAA laws, and then her husband who is on the board retaliates against her, the HOA and Dana and her husband could be sued big time. This is just a room of people with 2 pistols in each hands pointing at everyone, being like, who's going to make the first move? Who's going to do what? Who's going to court first? I'm going to be honest here. Regardless of whether or not this person was in violation of the rules is irrelevant to whether or not OP is an a-hole. The fact that they made the report without knowing the rules, and on the words of her 9-year-old, makes her an a-hole. This subreddit has a really strange morality compass, whereby people seem to be absolved if things work out in the end, regardless of their intentions. If you were beating the crap out of someone on the vague suspicion that they might have stolen something from you, and you end up being correct, you're absolutely still the a-hole for doing it, you just got lucky that you were right. Seriously, I need to constantly remind myself that Reddit morality is absolutely not congruent with real-world morality. Why is making a report without knowing the rules a problem? That makes no sense. It's the nurse's boss's job to investigate possible HIPAA violations and determine whether any rules were violated. Laymen aren't expected to know all the rules. That's exactly why there is a reporting and investigation process. I'm not gonna lie, looking at more comments just in reply to that one, this is a dumpster fire itself. People are not happy about Reddit's moral compass being called out, that's for sure. Not the a-hole. As someone in the healthcare field, this is indeed a major violation of HIPAA laws. She needs to be reported to protect the integrity of her position and protect her other patients. However, please do tell your boss about what you did. She deserves to know. I agree with this, and honestly can't believe the upvotes on other replies. This is a huge violation of HIPAA. It doesn't matter that the mum asked her not to spill the beans. Her social life is not worth as much as the medical and human rights of every other patient this nurse has taken care of. Posted by user Jody Veroma, titled, "Am I the a-hole for trying to outdo my roommate whenever she has sex?" Oh my god. I've been living with my roommate for about 2 years now. We have a really nice arrangement and get on well. When we both moved in, we both had boyfriends. She broke up with hers soon after, and I'm still with mine. Initially when we moved in, we had an agreement that we'd only have sex if the other one wasn't home, as to avoid any awkward viewing parties or conversations. And this happened up until my roommate became the village bicycle. Oh my god! She started bringing guys back to our apartment literally every weekend, bringing them into our space and making me super uncomfortable. She then started having extremely loud sex, to the point our neighbors could hear and made complaints, but that didn't stop her. So my reply is, I'm gonna have louder sex. That'll solve the problem. Then, as a way to get her to realize how loud she was being, I started initiating sex with my boyfriend whenever he was at the apartment and she happened to have a guy back. At first, it made my boyfriend uncomfortable that we could both hear each other, but went along with it. I try to be loud and irritating during it so she can get the hint, which pees my boyfriend off. Last night it happened, but for the first time in a while due to lockdown restrictions, I tried initiating sex with my boyfriend, but he instead pushed me back onto the bed and told me to get off him, as I only want sex with him when it's to pee off my roommate. And he then went and told my roommate that I was insecure, and that's why I always had sex when she did. My boyfriend and I aren't speaking, nor are my roommate and I. Am I the a-hole? What do you even say to this? Oh my god. Is this even real life? Am I reading this right? Why was that your solution? Why did you choose that you're just going to outclass someone that's intentionally doing this? OP, what's wrong with you? Everyone sucks here in this situation. I don't know why that was the answer. You're so stupid for thinking that that will solve the problem. Why? I just want to know why, OP. Everyone sucks. I tried looking for responses I couldn't find any because their account got suspended. I wonder why. Everyone sucks here except for your boyfriend. Telling the roommate that she's insecure doesn't excuse him. Totally agree, he should not have gone to the roommate and said that she was insecure, though I can kind of see how he would start viewing her that way. Why screw with your own relationship in the process, OP? You were aware your boyfriend was uncomfortable and annoyed with what you were doing, yet you continued? He must have felt pretty crappy knowing that you kept initiating intimacy with him just so roommate would maybe get the hint. Did you ever once use your words and actually talk to her about the issue? Everyone sucks here. You're the a-hole. You're basically using your boyfriend as a sex doll in some petty-ass pissing contest between you and your roommate. You are very much the a-hole. Yeah, that would really hurt me. Sex is supposed to be a lovely thing when you're in a loving relationship, and she used him for petty reasons. Ugh, I'd be out. This is literally the scene from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's all I could think as I was reading this. Another fake AmiTheA post? Shocking. I'm gonna have to watch that movie now. Posted by user Screw Ukrainians? What did they ever do? Titled, Am I the a-hole for outing my cousin as gay? My cousin Sally, 24, is getting married soon, and my cousin Megan is gay. Australians say Megan. I know everyone else says Megan. Australia's a weird country. All of the other cousins know this, and I'm sure some adults do too. My family is open-minded, like we're mostly all libertarians I guess, so nobody gives a crap what other people do, and Megan is planning on hijacking Sally's wedding to come out as gay there, and post it on TikTok for views. I told her that doing that is very selfish and a dick move, and Sally's wedding is about Sally and her husband, not for you to announce you're gay. She told me to pee off and let her dream. She wants to come out and have everyone congratulate her for her bravery and crap. I told her nobody's gonna care, and they'll just be like, aight, cool, be yourself. She kept planning this, and after a couple of weeks, I knew this was serious, and she was going to hijack Sally's wedding. So at a different family event, I basically told everyone Megan was gay, and as I expected, nobody gave a crap. They were just like, alright, cool, we still love you. Megan later cried and said I ruined her special moment of coming out, and I'm such an a-hole. To me, coming out is stupid. Gay people shouldn't be treated any differently than straight people, and I don't actually care when some celebrity or someone tells me they're gay. OP, you're entitled to your opinion for sure, but Jesus, how tone deaf can you be? I understand what you're trying to say. I understand it doesn't mean I accept that. That's a really stupid way of putting it, and I feel like you're very ignorant. Come on. I feel like there were better ways to handle this than to just scream it out in front of everyone. You feel like you can know a 14-year-old, but you don't. You're not them. You don't know how much this is going to affect her. There's so many things in this that I can't even comprehend myself. I think that everyone does suck here in this situation. The 14-year-old definitely should not be trying to destroy a wedding. But she's 14. I don't think she completely grasps just how important the wedding is, because not everyone does at that age. So everyone sucks here. I'm just going to leave it at that. Everyone sucks here. Obviously, Megan sucks for planning to ruin Sally's wedding and make it about her, but it wasn't your place to out her to the family. I think you should have just told Sally she was planning to hijack her wedding to make a personal statement and let Sally confront Megan herself. Couldn't have said it any better, and before OP asks, yes, it's important for someone to come out to the world as who they are, because unfortunately, we don't live in a world where people can be open about their sexuality and no one will bat an eye. But announcing it at someone else's wedding is not the time to do it. Neither is hijacking someone's announcement. OP, exactly this. Thank you for attempting to stand with the LGBT community, but coming out has to be on that person's terms. Not saying they were right to hijack someone else's wedding for it, but we still live in a world where if you're gay or trans or whatever, and live in the wrong country, then it's illegal to execute them or stone them to death on the streets. And even in first world countries, people get disowned by family every day for not wanting to repress who they are anymore. Personally, I'm transgender, and every time there are meetings for trans people here by the LGBT community, there's always at least one person there that has to hide it from their parents, or whose parents think it's just a phase, or anything along those lines. I agree that it is stupid that coming out as LGBT can't be as simple as, by the way, I hope you don't mind, but I'm gay. Okay, cool, so what are we having for dinner? But that just isn't possible in this day and age, and while I am thankful that your family accepted her for being gay, there was always that slight chance that your trust in them being accepting was wrong, and they wouldn't. If all of them hadn't accepted it and shunned her out of the room with a screaming contest, would you still feel justified in outing her? Everyone sucks here. I think, yeah, that goes back to that comment that got a lot of flack in the other one. Just because something does go right doesn't mean it reverses the decision in the end. You just got lucky. And I think OP got lucky in this situation. Posted by user Sunflower Better. Titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my sister to get over her stillbirth and be grateful for what she has? Oh boy. Some people just say the darndest things, don't they? My sister and I have never gotten on that well. We're only 10 months apart, so struggle to have our own identities outside of each other. When she was 19, she got pregnant and started her family with her now husband. She had 3 kids, and then tried for a 4th, which was stillborn with no warning. Understandably, she was devastated, but this was 10 years ago now, and she's had 2 children since. Damn, she's got 5 kids. That's a lot. She's always used it as an excuse for things. If she wants a bit of attention from our parents, she brings it up and they're straight there. If she's late to a family gathering, oh, sorry, I'm late, we were visiting the baby's grave. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm late, I'm just sad about baby. And I do understand it, but I was told at 14 that I'm infertile, so for her to be like that when she has 5 healthy children always feels like a massive kick in the teeth. A few nights ago, her and her family came over to my husband and I's house, as well as our parents and other sister, who's a few years older than us. The anniversary of her stillbirth was the day before, so I was expecting it to be brought up at some point. I asked her to help me cook dinner, and when she brought a tray out of the oven, she didn't look where she was going and burnt me on the arm. Her excuse was that she was thinking about the baby that should have been 10 years old today. I tried to push it out of my mind to keep the peace. It gets to eating our dinner, and it's all her and her husband are talking about. I asked about how her actual living kids are doing, and she brought it back to her stillbirth. I asked her how her job was going, and she somehow managed to bring it back. I was getting absolutely sick of it, so I just said, do you not think it's time you should be grateful for the kids you have? Get therapy and get over it. She burst into tears, of course, and her husband called me a tramp before leaving with her. My parents are absolutely furious with me, saying, you know what she's been through. And even my husband is saying it was uncalled for. Am I the a-hole? Ah, man. I mean, what is there to say in this situation? I feel like if it was me, I'd just have to keep letting it happen. I personally would not even have the ability to say what OP said there. I don't think it was the right thing to say. But I'm going to go with everyone sucks here in this situation. She's still holding on to it, and I can completely understand why she's still holding on to it. But there is a time and a place. It's called being in the therapist's office, and they can help you understand that you don't have to keep putting that on everyone else, because I don't think it's healthy to continue to put it on anyone else. Especially when it happened 10 years ago. No one continues for like 10 years. You've got some serious problems there, and I think that she needs help. She needs a lot of help. So I think it's also not right for OP to do it, her to continue to talk about it. I think everyone just sucks here in this situation. 1. Yes, it was uncalled for and mean for you to say that. 2. 10 years is a long time for her to be bringing it up a lot. 3. But her child died. 4. But she is being insensitive about your infertility. You should have sat her down and said, infertility is very hard for me. I know what you went through is terrible, but I will never have children, and you have 5 healthy children. It is very hard for me to hear you discuss the loss of your child when I know I will never be able to even have one of my own. Everyone sucks here, you more than her, I think. Quite honestly, I feel like OP is Everyone Sucks Here. Edited because it does seem more fitting considering the circumstances and the day the outburst happened, although Sister is the bigger a-hole. She had to hear about it for 10 years, and not in a way of, I'm sad because my child died, but in a way of, I'm sorry I'm late, I was mourning. I'm sorry I couldn't do this, I was mourning. And I imagine, I'm sorry you're getting the attention of our parents now, but I need it more because I'm mourning. My mum had 2 stillbirths with heavy medical procedures attached to it before she had me. She wasn't supposed to have me. She mentions it sometimes, but it's never in a way, sorry daughter, I couldn't do anything today because I'm still mourning. If someone next to you dies, you're expected to function like you did before a few months after. Her sister is not functioning like that at all. And then I don't mean that it's not okay to visit a grave to mourn, but if you know you have to be somewhere, you'll pay attention to being on time. Life shouldn't revolve around death like her sister's life does. Because if that's so, then OP can continuously grieve about the fact that she can't have children. Sorry I'm late, I was grieving I'm infertile. Sorry I didn't do that, I was depressed about being infertile. But let's be honest, if she did that continuously, she would be the a-hole because it's expected for her to get over it and function like a normal person. Edit, some people in the comments made some valid points. The family needs to stop enabling the sister. OP, it would be good for you to look into therapy again, as there are still things that are obviously hurting you, like the family dynamic and how they enable your sister. I do want to say, OP, your response is justified. Your wording wasn't the best, but it's clear after years of bottling it up, you needed to let it out. But bottling those feelings up are the reason why therapy might be a thing, so you can let it go. Not for your sister, but for yourself. You are a very strong person because you let being infertile not define you. But your family dynamics do not seem to be healthy for you in some ways. I am not saying go no contact, ban them out of your house, insert Reddit rage. I'm saying look for your own healthy boundaries towards your sister and family. Take care of yourself and your needs. Also, people have voiced their concerns for the sister's living children. I really hope they do not suffer under the continuous grief of your sister, OP, and that there is someone who will keep an eye on them, because your sister's behavior can be very damaging to the self-esteem of her children. Am I not as good as my dead sibling? Am I not good enough for my mum? Etc. I hope the children are loved. That was just an amazing comment. That's probably the best one I've read in a while. Everyone sucks here. You don't get to dictate how other people handle grief, and you certainly don't get to tell them to go get over it. Suggesting she go to therapy was a good call, but that's a conversation that should have been done privately and expressed with more concern for her well-being rather than annoyance. The reason I'm putting everyone sucks here instead of you're the a-hole is because your sister has created what sounds like an unhealthy coping mechanism for dealing with her child's passing, to the point where it's negatively impacting others over such a great span of time. Again, it's normal to grieve, but to absent-mindedly burn you and then blame it on thinking of her baby, or 2, have other bad habits blamed on her grief, are not normal. And you are right by saying she needs to address them. Not as crudely as you put it though. One last thought. The fact that she has children in lieu of you being infertile should not be a factor in this situation. Your struggles are not a competition, and you shouldn't take it so personally. Then she needs her space to sort out her grief. It's obviously okay to care about her and be worried because she's your sister. But it's not so okay when this feeling stems on the fact that she has something you can't. Your infertility doesn't invalidate her feelings, and I hope you're able to work past this. And then just underneath that, a lot of people are saying not the a-hole. And I think with these reasons given here, I can see why OP made that decision to say that. And I'm still everyone sucks here, but I'm leaning on that OP is not the a-hole. I feel like 10 years is more than enough to crack when you're in a situation like this. Posted by user Disciple of Tiamat, titled, Am I the a-hole for suing my ex-wife's lover for alienation of affection? So my wife came out as gay after 16 years of marriage and 1 child. She dropped the bomb about 3 months before she moved out of our house to move in with her lover of over 2 years. Our son chose to stay behind with me and still regularly talks to his mum. While consulting with my attorney about the pending divorce, he suggested filing a civil suit against my ex's lover for being the cause of the marriage breaking up. I followed his advice, and they were served with the papers. The following day, my ex and her lover confront me in front of our house, and it led to a shouting match and my wife leaving in tears. Our son is indifferent about the suit, but deep down I think he feels some resentment towards us both. I know it will be a long shot, but the suit to me is more symbolic. My way of extracting my pound of meat for 16 years of blood, sweat, and tears. It's my way of moving on, even if nothing comes out of it. I feel vindicated in some small way. I don't know about all of the circumstances of your relationship. It sounds like there's heaps going on below the surface. I'm just gonna say that everyone sucks here for this one. She was cheating on you? Dear Lord? 3 months before she moved out with her lover of over 2 years? Dude, that hurts. That hurts to hear. Everyone sucks here. You? This is 100% out of spite and nasty. She's not coming back, and you are going to hurt everyone. Her for carrying on a 2-year affair, which is never okay. I'd honestly not see the problem in filing a suit for alienation of affection, so long as the plaintiff was a sex the spouse could even have affection for. Alienation of affection basically means if X hadn't come along and stolen my spouse, our relationship would have been fine even to this day. Which doesn't work when your spouse is attracted only to women and you're a man. This is true. I really think the whole alienation of affection idea is antiquated. You can't force someone to love you any more than someone else can force you to love them. It's the whole stealing idea, which is bullcrap. You can't steal people unless it is literal kidnapping. If this dude's wife was in love with him, the other woman would have stood no chance. People make decisions. The wife made the decision to cheat. The other woman threw her hat in, but the wife decided to pick it up. Feelings change. The A of A, at its basest, is my woman is property and incapable of independent thought. Someone showed her something shiny and she was instantly mesmerized. This is dumb and antiquated. Or antiquated, I don't know. She found someone else. I'm sorry you lost 16 years with her. Mourn, move on, and find someone else. This one is really messy. I'm just gonna leave it where it is and finish the episode there. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one today. Tell me what you thought of it down in the comments below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I would love you to subscribe because I love your face and I love seeing you here every single day that you are here in this video. I don't know what else to say today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. I do have a second channel that's called Markee 2. Link should be up on the screen somewhere here if you don't have adblock installed. If you don't know where to find the channel, you can go to my main page. Just click on the Markee face and it should be on the right somewhere there, or on channels if you're on phone. Hope you guys have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.